we shouldn't have a manager.
So we're live now.
To be honest, I wouldn't be surprised if both PSG and United sacked their manager over the international break.
Yeah. Oh no, I would have sacked him tonight. To be honest, I would have sacked him tonight.
So guys. So
sorry, go on.
Welcome guys. This is the post-match review for the third match of the Champions League. So we're gonna be discussing most of the Champions League, from the United match to the Chelsea match to the PSG match to the Juventus match to all the happy match. So I hope you are doing fine. So let me start with the United fans first. So let me ask this question. I've been saying it, and I think this now it's been coming. I've been saying it's coming. One, because Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has not been back as a United manager, so this stuff will happen. But yes,
your mic is a bit off again.
Okay now.
Your mic's like crackling as hell.
Yeah, it's still crackling, Abdullahi.
Okay.
Okay, I'll wait for him to come back. Congratulations, offside. Well done for Chelsea. Good win.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Yes.
Oh my goodness. Sorry for your loss this evening.
Yes, it is this, to be honest, like, I still think United will get through this group. It's more the fact that we controlled the group. I just think that
we should top this group easily.
We should have topped this. I mean, let's be real.
No, there's wood.
Yeah, let's be real. Going in, when the draw happened, everyone said that United were going to either finish second or third. Let's be real. The initial draw happened. That's what people thought. It just so happens that we had two very good results, and we're like, of course, we're beating PSG, beating Leipzig, who are rivals. We should beat Istanbul, and that didn't happen. So what I would say about that is, like, let's be realistic, and that no one thought that when the Champions League started, that Manchester United was going to be topping this group, and we are still topping the group. But we should be beating Istanbul. We should be in control of this group.
Yeah, come on. Yeah. Exactly. You can go away to PSG. I don't understand how you can beat PSG and Leipzig, but you can't beat Istanbul. How can you keep players like Mbappe and Neymar quiet for 90 minutes, but you can't keep such as Dembele quiet?
I know how it's
the problem with Manchester United is consistency.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes, yeah, Abdullahi, we can hear you.
Okay. So this is gonna be the post-match review for the third matches from the United match. So let me go to United guys first. Like I was saying, I believe this thing has been coming. Maybe when Ole Gunnar Solskjaer took over, because for me it's not been backed fully. I would say that, because as a top club in United, for me, when Sir Alex Ferguson was there, United was a rival. Like, I really don't want to play with United, because let me say the Alex Ferguson effect. I know that already. So, but when Ole took over, I was like, okay, let's see where Ole will take United to. But my question to United fans is now, is it the right time for you guys to let Ole go, or you still want to give him time? So, what exactly is going on? Let me go to Tom first if I go to Red Devil.
You got, like I said, I've already said it when I went on somebody else's show. I said, after tonight, he's got to go, to be honest, because all I'll say is this: if he wasn't a club legend, if he was just an ordinary manager, he should have been sacked already. Because you don't start the season like you did, losing such as Crystal Palace, and you can say all you want about, he didn't have a pre-season. Half the teams in the world didn't have a pre-season. So that's not an excuse. He wasn't backed in the market. Well, ultimately, all he's employed to do is get the best out of the players that he's got, and get football is a results business. That is what football is. It's a results business. If you don't get results, you don't keep your job. It's as simple as that. If he didn't have the PSG and Leipzig results, to go with that, he didn't have the best start to the season. We're already half of the points that our rivals are on in terms of getting back into the top four this year. And to go with that, we haven't won a game at Old Trafford in the league. And also, further to go to that, You've got the embarrassment that happened against Tottenham. You know, it's just a downward spiral of just constant, just down and negativity. And all I'm going to say is this. A better coach would have won tonight because they would have chosen the right tactics and they would have played the right system. When I look at Ollie, I see one thing, and that's counter-attack. And when teams do what they always do, it's a Sean Dyche special. You just sit back and you play long ball against United. And you'll either get lucky and you'll get a goal and you'll win the game, or you'll get a point out of the game from drawing because we can't break teams down. That is the problem. We have some of the best creative players in the world, in such as Pogba, Fernandes, Van der Beek. We have creative players, but we can't still break teams down. And now, if that doesn't prove something that something's wrong, I don't know what does. You know, people can say, "Oh, well, Ollie's a PE teacher, this, that, the other." Yeah, you can use stereotypes to describe it. I would say, Ollie for me, at best, is a youth coach. He's a motivator. He can motivate young players. That's what I can say about Ollie, because he's motivated players like Greenwood to, and giving them chances. Exactly the same with such as Williams. He's brought Henderson back on loan as a young lad and given him a chance tonight and given him a chance in a couple of the cup games. So he's a motivator. That's all I can really say about Ollie. He's a motivator, because if you want to be at the top level, you need to have a system that everybody can see. Like at Chelsea, you can see what Lampard's system and style is. It's, right, we're going to keep the ball together, we're going to stay as a unit and as a team, and we're just going to go full pedal to the metal. And if it doesn't work, and you need to get a clean sheet at some point, then you'll just sit back and play the system. Ollie's been found out, and he's been found out for so long now. It's a joke. Because if counter-attacking football doesn't work, Ollie can't do anything. He doesn't win the game. He'll either draw or he'll lose. And it exactly proved it tonight. Istanbul get capitalise on two mistakes, and then suddenly you're blown out of the water and you're 2-0 down. You get the chance with Martial, which tucks away, which is decent, and you're back in the game. But the second half, it was just they just sat back, and everybody knows. Even us as fans, we're not qualified coaches. We're not at a high-ranking level. We've not won Champions League trophies or anything. You don't need Champions League trophies to need to see when a manager's been found out. It's clear as day. And the thing is, it's been 2 years of this now. People say he hasn't been backed and everything. All I'm going to say is this. He's been backed to a certain extent. I wouldn't say fully, but he's been backed to a certain extent where he should be getting the best out of this group of players. If you want to, when you get to the next stage where you get the full back in, that is where you should be. Right, we're consistently in the top four. We're consistently, beating some of the best teams in the world. We're consistently there in competitions, and it's not working. He's not working. And like I say, for me, he should be gone tonight. He should, because if he didn't have the PSG or the Leipzig results, and if he wasn't a club legend, he would be gone already. Because you don't start the season that you do. You don't have the pre-season, campaign combustion of using the excuse of, oh, we haven't had a pre-season. Well, nobody has. And all I hear is keep making excuses for players who are playing badly. He hasn't got the balls to drop players like Maguire. So, yeah, he's your captain, but come on. You can see the players, you can see he's not playing well. So drop him. You've done it with Pogba. Why can't you do it with your captain? It's as simple as that. And like I say, if he didn't have the Spurs result, that's just another one. Completely got done off the park by Jose Mourinho. Then you go into the PSG and you go and get the win. If he didn't have those two results, he would have probably been sacked already. If I'm being honest, he should have been sacked. And people can talk about, oh well, who do you get to replace him and everything. You can say Pochettino, you can say Nagelsmann, you can say any manager in the, for all of mankind. Even Sir Alex Ferguson came back and took this team on. It wouldn't be successful. It wouldn't be. Because nobody wants to listen to the person who's in charge. Because there's no chain of command. It literally, the jump is from the manager or the head coach, to the CEO, to the owners. That is not how you run a football club. Where you jump from is you go from the manager to the sporting director to the technical officials. Then you go to the board, and then you go to Ed Woodward. Then you go to the owners. That is a chain of command. That's about 6 or 7 positions. We have 3. This just shows it right here. But the only thing I would say in all his defence is, in terms of the players that he's brought in the right players. Fernandes is a right player for Man United. So's Van der Beek. So's players like Wan-Bissaka. So in terms of who's recruited, I would say I would keep him at the club, but I would keep him at the club as a sporting director. He can have the director of football job. That's if you can't get Edwin van der Sar, then give it to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, because he sees a player when he sees one. He saw a young player in such as Greenwood, brilliant talent. He's given him a chance. He's seen young players in such as Dean Henderson, right? He's giving him a chance like tonight and in the Carabao Cup games. So all I'm going to say is this: if you're going to get rid of Ole, I would appoint him as a technical director and get a new manager in to work with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and see if it's the director of football. And if the director of football doesn't work at the club, then you know it's something even bigger wrong. Because everybody's saying if we had a technical director, it'd be different. Appoint one, and then you'll see. But I do think that is the main problem. If we had a technical director under Jose Mourinho, I believe we would have probably won a Premier League title. Probably we'd have come close under Louis van Gaal, but I don't think we'd have quite got there. But under Jose Mourinho, 100%. If we would have had a technical director working with him, then it would have worked out. But we haven't got one. We've not had one in all ever, and it doesn't look like we're going to get one. We can say that we're looking at people and everything, but until you actually appoint somebody, there's no point in even talking. It's like when you want to sign a player. Until they sign, don't talk about them because they're not your player. So like I say, the manager should probably go after tonight's performance, if I'm being honest, because I don't see a team out there that actually wants to play for him, and I didn't see any sort of respect towards him and the players. If that's what he can crack a load of jokes in the press conference with such as Harry Maguire, but behind the scenes in that dressing room, it's got to be a completely different story, because I don't see how this man is controlling that dressing room with the amount of stuff that's been coming out. You have the stuff about Maguire, Fernandes and everything, but until somebody is actually going to take control, and this is what I'm talking about, if you have a change, a new manager going in there will completely change all that. Yeah, it's you going in a new direction and it's a new rebuild, but I think it's what you need. And you need somebody who's just above the manager as a sporting director. And if you have them two roles, so you have a good coach or a good manager and you have a good sporting director, then you can get somewhere. But until then, Man United aren't going to win a Premier League title. They're not even going to come close to winning the Champions League, despite results that they've already got. And to be honest with you, it wouldn't surprise me if Everton would be his last game. If he's not gone after tonight, if he doesn't go, say, tomorrow or the next day, Everton should be. If he doesn't beat Everton, then that is his last game. It's as simple as that. Because Everton are on the decline right now. They've had a really good high being at the top of the table. They're suddenly starting to drop now while they're getting injuries. So if you can't be a fully, how can I say it, fit and a fully squadded team at Everton, then there is something wrong with you as being a manager. Because if Ancelotti can use players that are like youth level, to like Tom Davies, to beat you, then there is a serious problem. So that's all I'm going to say, to be honest.
We didn't beat them last season home and away, though. I said we didn't beat them last season home and away, though, and that was even the weaker team in this one. So that's even more concerning.
Yeah. Like I said, even the Europa League campaign, we completely bombed out of that. I think he gave up on the FA Cup as well. So like I say, he had opportunities to win things, and opportunities to do things. But the only thing I can wholeheartedly say that he has achieved is he's qualified for the top four. That is all you can say he has achieved. He's qualified for the top four. He's not won a trophy. He's not got to a final. He's not even come close. He's come to the semi-final barrier, and he bottles it. And he comes up against somebody like Istanbul, and he can bottle it, but he can beat PSG. He can beat Leipzig. It wouldn't surprise me if we went and drawn. We went and drawn Bayern Munich, and we got a decent result, maybe draw against them, because he can play the big boys, but he can't play the shite boys. As in, he can't beat Burnley, he can't beat Barnsley, but he can beat Bayern Munich, he can beat Barcelona. Like I said, it's ridiculous. It is ridiculous. You need to be beating every level of opponent, and you've got to have a different plan for every level of opponent, and he doesn't. He just sticks with one plan. That's counter-attack.
I get that. So let me go to Red Devils now. So my question to Red Devils is, do you give Ole till the Everton match before you sack him, or you want him to go ASAP?
I mean, the thing is that it's like obviously I've had, thanks to a previous stream, I've had enough time to sort of put all my ranting sort of out, so I can start to think a bit more rationally. And I still think that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is not the right man and has to go. That's also true. However, I'm also thinking that I don't want to make the same mistake. There are two things. One, I don't want to make the same mistake of knee-jerk hiring managers. So even though it's painful, like if Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has to go, but I want to hire a manager for the long term. So I don't want to hire a manager on a limb on the result, where we just sort of say like, all right, the results are bad. Let's just get any manager that's available. I want to be like, right, we're going to get a manager, okay, who we know is going to be with us for the potential for the long term, who's going to be backed, who's going to get a director of football. There has to be sort of steps in place. Like, I don't want it to be a situation where like we're just like since Van Gaal to away, all of our managerial hirings have been very knee-jerk. Even Mourinho was a knee-jerk. Because to be fair to Van Gaal won the FA Cup in his last season and finished fifth. Yes, the football wasn't pretty, but I think we were on goal difference, level goal difference with City, where we missed out on that thing. And he got a trophy. But because Pep Guardiola was coming and we're like, oh man, and Jose Mourinho was flirting with United, it was like, right, okay, let's just get Mourinho in so we have someone who can compete against Pep. Fast forward, the players turned against him. The football, let's be real, was boring. And in his final season, we were 12, 13 points off fourth. And I respect Mourinho, I love him, but I'm and for me, that was the final straw because we played pretty much how we played tonight against Istanbul. Terrible, devoid of ideas, at home, clueless, no idea. So for me, you know, I actually sort of said, like, I know it sounds crazy. I know you have your agenda, Abdullahi, but I would because Pep Guardiola is coming to his final season. I would actually United to throw all the money in the world to get Pep Guardiola from Manchester City to Manchester United.
Red Devil, are you dreaming? I mean, I know it's late at night, but are you dreaming?
No, of course. Why not?
Left.
Why not? Why not? This would actually be a.
I mean, that's just wishful thinking. Zero chance.
No, it's not. It's not wishful thinking.
Chance that he'll leave Manchester City and
he's in his final year. He's in his final year of his contract.
That's not the point. Even if he's out,
he's not offered a new contract.
Even if he's out of contract, I don't see Guardiola leaving Manchester City and going to Manchester United with the current squad you guys have. Are you guys ready to spend? Besides the rivalry and
offside.
Money talks.
Let him finish.
Let me finish. First, money talks. At the end of the day, like irrespective of what people say, like if the Glazing thing go, listen, Guardiola, we will basically make you the highest managed player and we'll give you anything you want and we'll back you. Like I don't see that as a sort of course, it's simple as that. That would be my ideal. I agree with you. I don't think it's going to happen. But given the amount of money that United have, and given the fact they've been searching for your DOF, it's not unreasonable, if that makes any sense. But just going on to the actual game, I mean, fundamentally, the irony about this whole thing, it's funny. It's like how Shakhtar got bantered. I think what was it? Shakhtar got bantered yesterday, and United got bantered today, and yet both teams are still top of their groups. And then it's the same with this, where PSG, people expect the PSG to basically be top of this group, and PSG are they bottom?
Europa League eviction.
Yeah, I think they're third. I don't think they're bottom because Istanbul lost to sort of it's head to head. So it's a terrible.
Let me ask you this already.
Yeah.
Like I said before, I'm a Chelsea fan, and I'm gonna say this. Not that because I'm a Chelsea fan, I'm saying this. Ole, I understand Ole doesn't have a tax and this and this and that. I completely understand. But my issue with Ole is
Abdullah, not to interrupt. It's too simplistic to say Ole doesn't have tactics. It's not that Ole doesn't have tactics. The issue is that consistently it was two things. It's one, I actually think our players are actually overhyped. I actually think that we keep on, since probably the last 6 or 7 years, players, fans, and other players have always said, "Oh, if you get a better manager, they'll get the better of players." You know, most of these players have played under 2, maybe 3 managers. Like Rashford and Martial played under 3 managers, Pogba 2, and so on. So at some point, it's like with Mesut Ozil, for example. Like Mesut Ozil played under 3 different managers now. So although I think there's political issues going on, I'm not going to go into that. But my point is that at some point, when a player is not performing consistently, it can't be the manager. It has to be maybe these players just aren't good enough. So that is one thing in respect to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, because I think the idea that Poch is in or any other manager comes in and gets better players, I actually think that some of these players just aren't great. They're just not good enough. However, consistently we've seen, especially since Lukaku has left Manchester United, that United cannot break teams down. So I don't think the issue is Ole Gunnar Solskjaer doesn't have tactics per se. The issue is if you want to beat Manchester United, you literally, like Arsenal did, like Crystal Palace did, like a lot of teams did, is that you basically defend deep and then press in the midfield to win the ball high up, and then that's it. That's it. So if you look at the Crystal Palace game, that's essentially what Shakhtar did this game. They defended with 4 banks of 4. They waited for us to make a mistake, which was a terrible mistake. And in fairness to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, you know, I don't want to defend the guy because the guy should be sacked. I agree. But there have been a lot of goals where you're like, I don't actually understand how that is actually coachable. The goal that the first goal, for example, that we could see today, I can't blame the coach because much like with Pep or even on many other teams, it's like that is just Sunday league. I'd be able to defend that result. I'd be able to think, you know what, you can't leave that man by himself. You've got to mark him, make sure he doesn't run. So a fair amount of goals that we've conceded have been these individuals. It's not been that we've necessarily been outplayed, outbossed, torn apart, ripped up, etc. It's been individual, poor defensive mistakes, which can be difficult to coach unless you bring in a better defender. So you tell me, if you drop Maguire and bring it up Meccano, for example, we concede that goal. Of course not. You bring in, you put in semi-decent defenders into that team. Of course they'll be. Of course, we won't concede those goals. You know, so I'm not trying to defend Ole here, but let's be real. Pep Guardiola spent 300 million plus on centre backs. Yeah. He hasn't improved his centre. He's not improved. His best centre back was Vincent Kompany, who he didn't buy, and he left. He's brought in how many centre backs and is still conceding goals. And I'm not saying that Ole is like Pep. What I'm trying to say is that like it is difficult. It is difficult sometimes to coach individual poor defensive errors.
So before I go to offside, let me ask you this, Devils. So are you gonna give Ole to Everton match? That's okay. Let me say he plays all. As a fans, what do you think? What do you think the board are thinking at the moment? Or are they gonna be like give him a leeway to Everton, or you sack him after the international break?
The board, but so this is what I keep on telling people is that it's only if it's feasibly impossible for United to not make top 4. The board's level, the board's standard right now, from what I understand, especially now more so, is going to be Champions League, purely from a financial point of view, right? So it's not even. I don't even think that they would even care if United didn't qualify from the CL group. You know, I think that as far as they're concerned, as long as Manchester United are in touching distance with the Champions League spot, they're not going to sack him. So if, for example, we were to win against Everton the weekend, which I doubt, if we were to do it, to be fair, if you look at the fact that we also have a game in hand, which is against Burnley, who are trash right now, we'd still only be like, even right now in 15th, we're only 6 points from fourth. So you win your game in hand, you're only 3 points. So for me, that's not enough from the board's point of view to sack the manager. You have to be at least 12, maybe 13 points before you're thinking, like, right, this guy's got to go.
Okay.
And because that's how it was with Mourinho and a few managers back. So
Okay.
unless well off fourth, I don't think that he's gonna get sacked.
Okay. So let me go with offside now. So offside. So what do you think? What's your take on Manchester United? Is it the ball, the manager?
What was that?
I think your mic
I don't know if it's just me, but
is echoing, like going up and coming out. When you go out and come out, is echoing. Are you there? Can you hear me?
yeah, I hear you. I don't know if it's just on my end.
Oh, okay. I think your mic is echoing a little bit. Can you need to fix that? Let me come to Niangi. So Niangi, so what's your take on the United catastrophe at the moment? Is it the ball, the manager, or the player themselves? Niangi, are you there? Niangi, are you there?
Hello, Miyagi, can you hear me?
Yeah, but your mic is cutting off side. It's cutting off a little bit.
Can you guys hear
So
me?
let me come to Niangi. Niangi, can you hear me? Niangi, are you there? Oh, Niangi is not talking. So let me come to Osita. Osita, you there?
Yes, I am.
Okay, so can you just elaborate on the Man United, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, the board and the player and themselves? What is the issues going on with United? Is it the board, the players, or the entire what's called the entire United board themselves? They call them the Glazers. So what exactly is going on?
I think it boils down to the coach. Now, I was talking with a 10-year-old over the weekend, last weekend, a Man U fan, and I was shocked when the 10-year-old said that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer does not have control over his players. I was shocked, like a 10-year-old, where did he get this from? Now, if you don't have, no matter the amount of talent you have, in the dressing room, you have Pogba, you have Bruno Fernandes, and so on. If you don't have the blend, the right tactics to blend these players together, you are going to have a problem. And I don't think these players want to play for him. That's where I feel the problems. Yes, there's always a factor, the Glazer family, Woodward. You want to blame, but I mean, a good coach should be able to use this set of players to achieve something. Honestly speaking, that's what I think.
So are you telling me Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is the key problem for this
Yes,
team?
yes, I'm going. It may not be all of it, but I'm going to give him majority of the blame. Like, I mean, every single player he wanted to get. I mean, you have Van de Beek,
Not
you
every player.
have
We all know
you
you
have
want Jadon Sancho.
Okay, can
We
you
all know.
guys hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you offside. So we all know
Okay.
he wanted Jadon Sancho. That was his first priority. He wanted Upamecano as a central back. That was the second priority. None of those players were gotten for him. So do you tell
honestly
me
speaking.
getting Sancho and Upamecano, this stuff won't happen? Because I've been saying it. This thing has been happening long time ago. No? This is not.
Honestly speaking, des- despite the fact that I didn't get Sancho, for instance, I don't think Sancho would have solved the problem in Man U right now because not only are they not scoring um, when they are supposed to against the smaller teams, they have a defensive problem, and it might even be worse than what Chelsea had last season. Why do I say that? Because at least they spent at least 80 million or someone like Maguire, for instance. Lindelof is there. You have Bailey. You have a couple of other players. You have Luke Shaw, and somehow you concede weird goals against smaller sides. I mean, and this is not what Man U was known for back in the day. Um, Sir Alex Ferguson was known for dealing with the small teams, and even though he doesn't get so much a high percentage or win against the bigger teams, somehow he wins the league. Now, how can you win trophies when the small boys like Istanbul, I can't even pronounce the other name, and you can't beat them
It means
in the
I'm having
Champions League? I mean, that means you're not ready for business. So it's not just about
I can't
hello.
even pronounce that name. Yeah, I can hear you. I said I can't even pronounce that name. Istanbul
Yeah,
Is
I
it
mean,
Basek
yeah.
Bahe?
Someone, a friend was saying, his friend was saying, is this thing from Pakistan or what? And I mean,
From Turkish, from
what,
Turkish
what,
league.
what sorry?
They are from Turkish league.
Yeah. I know them. I know them. I'm just kidding. But the fact is, Ole does not have a grip on this team. And trust me, another manager might do better than Ole with this team. I mean, uh, this is not an average team. When you look at the caliber of players, even the youngsters, I mean, I envy a player like Mason Greenwood. He's the kind of finisher I would like to have in my team. You get, you can't you have these players in your at your disposal, and you can't finish up small things. That means you're not ready to do business.
Wow. So let me come to upside now. Okay. Let me
Okay.
come to upside. So what's your take on United and problem? Is it from the board, the owner, and the manager, or what exactly is going on with the players entirely?
I think it's all encompassing, a combination of every single aspect you mentioned. Now, you just as you said, the aspects of the board, just as you mentioned, they have a part to play. You mentioned they can play that but it's at the same time, it's one thing to have. I mean, which it gets for him. At the end of the day, it's one thing to want players, it's another thing to have on ground, and that's where his own part comes into play. The players he has assembled, the players he has at his disposal, they're not, they're talented. Individually, these players are talented. The players should come better. But now, especially
Also,
when
your mic is cutting off a little bit. It's cutting off. Your mic is cutting off a little
Can
bit.
you guys hear me now?
You can hear you. I think outside mic is cutting off a little bit.
he said,
Your mic is cutting off a little bit. It's coming in and coming out.
mic is what? The mic is on.
Oh yeah, it's cutting off. Like we can hear you, and sometimes we can't hear you very well.
I think your mic is not very clear. So I think
Oh,
Can you
okay.
hear me?
You can hear you. Can hear you. Outside,
Okay.
continue.
Yeah. Like I said in the last
No, I
podcast
think
that we
outside
had.
is. I want outside to finish that point.
Okay, you meant offside. Okay.
So outside, finish up.
yeah. So when it comes to Messi Greenwood, for example, Messi Greenwood is a very very talented player. Everybody knows that he's young as well, and for one reason or the other, just like you have it for Pogba, you also have it Bruno Fernandes. When Fernandes came in towards the end of last time, remember how long they had Bruno Fernandes can actually partner for Pogba, and as it is now, that's in competition of the game. How good can put on the pitch? But United have talented players, and as I said, that's the part the manager has to be doing. Being able to judge players, being able to find the right issue for them. It's not to sign Van de Beek. You now ask yourself, why did they sign him?
Exactly. That's my point. Why do they sign? Is it the kind of player they need in that team? I don't think so.
40 million. So that's the role, that's the part you question the board of the club, and they're to at the end of the day. Now down to the players individually, they are not being paid. You look at Cromwell was talking about what they should
Bruno, Nabil, Maguire,
spending 70
big name signing.
and the type and but it's beyond just the number of goals they concede and the teams they concede these goals against. Is the comical make first goal, for example, the first goal they considered against it was pathetic. It seemed like sometimes it seemed like a team that is lacking in experienced players. Yeah, they have no idea how to coordinate themselves. Their left from their right. How exactly do you have a team of experienced players, very well experienced, a winner, right? A 30-pound central defender that happens to be the captain of the side, and the left, the left back, Spurs, that's open. We just have him. So it wasn't a case of them facing the game, right? Like maybe if FIFA World Cup final or a knockout competition. So all those things are the different aspects that contribute in the problem Manchester United is going through now. The board has have the part to play, but just as said, I think a more I'm saying more experienced manager, because I mean, Ole is supposed to be a better manager would perform at with this group of players. The group of players are better than what Mourinho had when he was at the club. Now, he was under so much fire from ex-United players, about playing negative football and this and all that, the United way. But now Ole is in charge, and yeah, them regards to Ole. So at the end of the day, for me, there's a lot of of shake-up that needs to be done.
So let me come to Miyangi now. So Miyangi, what's your take on the United himself? Is it the coach, is it the manager, the Glazers, the players, or what exactly is going on with the club? What exactly is going on?
Okay, if you remember the last pod we had, can you guys hear me?
We can hear you. We can hear you.
Okay. The last pod we had, and I asked the question, I was like, between Ole and Lampard, who would go first? And everybody went for Lampard, and I was smiling. I was like, can you see what 2 games back-to-back losses can do to a team? Honestly, it would be foolhardy if you just pin down the issues that United are having to one person or one department alone. The whole setup is wrong. The whole setup is wrong. From the board to the managers to the players, every one of them has to take a chunk of the blame. But unfortunately, the way football is nowadays, footballers don't get the blame. Even when they get the blame, I mean, they can't get any faults for it. The board, nothing would happen to them. So it boils down to the manager. Unfortunately, the manager has to get the sack. The way he's going now, trust me, I don't see Ole bringing this team out of this quagmire that they are in right now. They are so much in, as everything is just not working for them presently. Formations, tactics, it's not about just bringing in players. Right now, if you bring in Messi into that squad, he would not do well. He would not do well. That team needs revamping. That team needs reform. I was reading a story online, and I saw somewhere where Ole said, where they said Ole still doesn't park in the manager's car park. Reason because he believes the position still belongs to Sir Alex Ferguson. See, you need to move on. You need to move on from such thinking. If you are the head of the institution, if you are the coach, if you're the manager, you need little things like that matters a lot. When you still keep holding on to the philosophy of a manager that is gone, football doesn't wait for anybody. Football has gone past Alex Ferguson. Alex Ferguson has retired. Only you are the one in charge now. You need to be in charge. You need to handle it. So unfortunately, like I said, he's the one that has to take the brunt, and I will not be surprised if he goes. But the truth of the matter is, even if he goes, I do not see United changing. The board needs to get fired also. Somebody needs to get fired. It's not just Ole. Ole should not be the one to leave this team. The board needs to go, the coach needs to go, and they need to get new players into that team.
So let me ask you now, Nyangi. So if another new coach comes in now, do you see any improvements in that team, or do you think that team needs a sporting director or someone that has a footballing brain that can move that team forward? Because at the moment,
obviously,
I'm not seeing anything in that team at all.
Obviously, they need someone. They need something totally different from what they have right now. I mean, they were losing 2 goals down. You had 1 goal up. At that point in time, the manager should get up. There's this aura that Ferguson used to have those days. Once he gets up, he sends a signal on the pitch. You have to do it. You can't come out of that game without getting the win. You have to do it. But what did they do? They got 1 goal back, and it was still same of the same. I mean, things like that. You need a sporting manager. You need a sporting director. You need someone who knows how to proper running of football. I don't believe in all this philosophy. You need someone who can handle that institution called Manchester United, and they don't have it right now. They do not have it right now. Even Ole is not up to standard when it comes to that. I listened to the other guy saying he would prefer they sack Ole and push Ole up to that position. Ole would still mess up if you put him in that position. There are so many managers. I mean, there are so many sporting directors you can get out there that would reshape this team. Look at Man City. They got Begiristan from Barcelona. You know, someone who had worked with the manager. Those are the kind of people. Look at Chelsea. Those are the kind of people that you need right now. Not just pushing a manager. If you're a manager, you're a manager. It does not make you, or it does not give you the qualifications to think you become a sporting director. No. So for me, they need to get a sporting director into that team and revamp the team wholeheartedly. Chelsea brought in 5, 6, 7 new players. United needs to do the same. Not bringing in a 30-something-year-old Cavani. No, Cavani is experienced, but you know the pressure that the Premier League has. He has played 3 games now, no goal, nothing. That is not the kind of player you will bring into the team that will change the team.
Oh well.
Do you
To
get
be fair to them, Chelsea also brought a 30-something-year-old Thiago Silva.
the positions are different. The positions are different.
Fair
A striker
point.
keeps running. A striker keeps running. You can't compare. You can't compare the pressure of the attackers with that of the defender. Do you get? And even if you look at it, Thiago Silva, he plays one game. See, Lampard took him out today. You have to rest him. You cannot keep using him like that. Like they would burn out. So for
But
me,
but,
they
but
need to
Cavani
get
has
him.
barely played any game, anyways.
It's still the same thing we are saying. Is he the one that would come and change the team? No. There are other players that you
Miyangi,
can get into that team.
can I ask a question, Miyangi?
Okay.
Yeah, you're talking about Chelsea bringing in 5 to 6 players, and that was basically hinged on the fact that last season Chelsea could not buy players. So definitely they had or we had enough money per window, and now you had the opportunity. In short, for the past 2 3 years, Man, you had the opportunity to spend big money on some big players. I mean, you brought in Bruno Fernandes in January. We go back, we had Maguire, we had a few other players that came in. Now, do you think Man U is spending right? That's what I think. Or that's the
I
question
love
I'm
your
asking.
question.
Do you think Man
I
U is
love your
spending right? I mean,
question.
80 million for Maguire. 80 million for Maguire, like I don't see that
I
as a
love
good
that
deal, for
question.
instance.
Now, here's the thing. Chelsea has a very good excuse into going to buy 4 or 5 players. But let me tell you the truth. Even if we bought players last season and we finished in that same positions, Chelsea will still have gone into the market to buy new players this season. Do you get? Now, buying new players is one thing. Getting players for that position, not about the price now, is another thing. 80 million on Maguire is a no-no for me any day, anytime. The Maguire situation, I will compare it to the Kepa Arrizabalaga situation. The fact that you splash out so much money does not equate to the value the player brings in. No, it doesn't. Maguire is not worth an 80 million defender any day, anytime. He's not worth it. So whether you spend 80 million or 100 million, it is what he has that he would give you. He would not give you more than that. Bruno Fernandes, fine, is good. But when you have a Bruno Fernandes and imagine you're playing a Daniel James today, you're playing most of the other guy's name tomorrow. Marshall is not even in form. Marshall hasn't scored. I mean, he barely even has shot on target this season. You need to plug into those places. How much did we use in buying? How much did Chelsea get the new goalkeeper for? 20 million. Perfect buy. Perfect buy. It's not just about splashing the cash. If you want to splash the cash, make sure you are getting value for your money, not just because you want to splash the cash. And that is the mistake United has made over the last couple of transfers that they've done.
What if the manager is wrong? What if they don't want to play for the manager? Because I still feel this set of players can play well under another manager, not only.
I agree. They can do better.
Until then, right now, this is what we're analyzing. And the truth of the matter is they are not doing well right now.
So to get what
So we have to
was started now, you want to tell me if another manager comes in apart from Oli, they will play better?
I think so. because uh I play football as well, no, not on the
Mhm.
professional level. Now looking at Ole and Lampard, if as a footballer someone asks me who do you like to play under, I'll choose Lampard, even though Lampard has so many flaws. The body language, I think Rangi pointed out earlier, the body language of Ole is not motivating. Now Chelsea, for instance, played today, and they didn't play well, but they got the 3-0 victory. Several times in football, you are going to win matches that you don't deserve to win, and that's what takes you over the line. Jose Mourinho was known for that. Ferguson was known for that. At least that motivating factor. I would love to play for Simeone, for instance. Those are the kind of coaches that, even when you are not playing bad, yeah, you are not playing the way you're supposed to play, their body language on the touchline can make you do the extra mile. I look at Ole. I know how Old Trafford Stadium is. You know, it's kind of far from the touchline, and you have to come down the staircase and all that. The man is just sitting down there looking at the TV as if he's a VR official. Like, what kind of place is that?
Like it's one of
He
his
looks as if he's
competitions.
lost, like he doesn't even know what is going
You don't
on.
understand. Now, imagine, I don't know, off the top of my head, imagine a Simeone, for instance. Imagine who again is crazy on the touchline. Imagine an Antonio Conte, for instance. I'm not sure, they might not be perfect, but I'm not sure it will be this bad. That's what I think. The body language of Ole is not inspiring, which is why I said this set of players are players that will go to another team and turn up. Now look at Lukaku. They said he was, Lukaku is playing well under a good coach,
Yep.
a
Yeah,
motivating coach. Uh,
if we're being honest with ourselves, Lukaku was never the problem at Manchester
It was
United.
never. It wasn't
A
the
player
problem.
like
exactly,
Paul Pogba,
exactly.
a player where was like Paul Pogba was a bigger problem.
Yeah,
But for
Labiu.
whatever
I love
reason,
Labiu.
maybe
Well, Labiu.
image laundering or whatever, they protected Pogba and got rid of Lukaku. So Lukaku has always been consistent, whether at United or now at Inter Milan. But then, if you're blaming Ole, how do you blame Ole for the performance of Paul Pogba? Because Paul Pogba, for example, has been the same with every single manager that has been in charge of the side,
I,
since he joined Manchester United. Most times when they talk about Pogba, they talk about his potential. They talk about what Pogba can do, not what Pogba does. Do you understand? And it's been how many years now into his Manchester United career? His contract will be up, I think, at the end of next season, right?
Yeah,
And
Yeah.
next
then
season.
he's still yet to do anything. It's always about his potential, his potential. Is Ole still responsible for that? If Mourinho was not able to motivate Pogba, is it Ole that will be able to motivate Pogba? I don't know if you get my point. I don't
okay,
know if you
okay,
understand what I'm
okay,
trying to say.
okay. Now talking about Pogba. Sorry, talking about Pogba. Pogba's problem is personal, and when I mean personal, there are some players that their lifestyle off the pitch is more important to them than on the pitch. Paul Pogba is a lifestyle player, and
Neymar too.
coming
Neymar.
into the Premier League, coming into the Premier League, when he was at Juve, it was not a big deal. You get his hairstyle, his swagger, everything, because the eyes of the press were not there. But coming into the Premier League, the press will always attack that. Your Instagram post, everything about you off the pitch. You went to Dubai today, you went for this carnival tomorrow, you are dancing on Instagram. Now, the press will always use that against you. And once the press comes up like that, you can't perform well. I can't see a player that has been attacked in the last 2 3 years by the press like
Really?
Paul
You're
Pogba.
going to blame it on the press?
What I'm saying is Paul Pogba is a personal issue. He is not that ambitious when it comes to football. I think his lifestyle off the pitch. That's the problem Mourinho had with him. I think it was because of Paul Pogba when he said that Frank Lampard at age 22 was a man. I think he was trying to diss Pogba because these are guys that still behave like kids. Okay, after a football match, Instagram, the handshake with Lingard those days and stuff. Mourinho was not cool with that. That's why Mourinho was always having issues with him. Paul Pogba's problem is a personal issue. It's kind of disciplinary. And if you are not disciplined as a player, no matter how talented you are, you cannot get to the top. You can't win the Ballon d'Or. That's Paul Pogba's problem. So not every
So
coach can work
what you're
with that.
trying to say is that it's fair to say that Oli is not to blame for Paul Pogba.
I can't blame Ole for that because Pogba had his underlying issues right from the one.
I agree with you though. I
I
think
agree with that.
in as much as you can't blame Ole for Paul Pogba's issue. Paul Pogba's issues are personal, yeah. But when you look at the squad, even when Paul Pogba was injured, who came on for him? How well were they performing at that point in time? Those are the kind of places that you still have
They
to
were
blame
doing
Ole
very,
for.
very well with Bruno Fernandes.
So what changed? I mean, from the start of this season, Pogba has been coming on as a sub most of the
Now, can we
games.
talk about Fernandez? Talking about Fernandez, Fernandez is a kind of player that I didn't know it was that way. He had this quiet outlook, but Fernandez is more outspoken or more is more of an
More
extrovert than
aggressive.
yeah. Now, I think Fernandez a little bit of what we call loss in form, if you want to call it that, is the fact that for I like to relate it to I like when I watch football players, I try to relate it to myself. Now, as an attacker, you are doing your best to he's a midfielder, but attacking midfielder, yeah. Now you are doing your best to pull the strings, and then for every 2 to 3 goals you score, your defense is matching that. Right now, I don't know if everybody's seeing it, but I think Fernandez is frustrated because it seems his efforts are going in vain. That's why there was a match he was shouting at uh, Lindelof for his mistake.
Europa League against Sevilla.
Yeah, he's getting frustrated with the set of players he's playing with. He can't believe that this is the man he was always hearing about. Because when he looks to his left, he sees Daniel James doing nonsense somewhere else. So that's why everybody was like, everyone was like, it's like Fernandez is a captain material and stuff like he's more captain material than
Maguire.
Maguire. But the fact is that you need 4 to 5 of Maguire of Fernandez personality in that dressing room to push Mayu to the next level. And
I
Fernandez
agree.
now is the lone ranger that is frustrated, is angry with the kind of football Man is playing right now. And when the player is angry, no matter how talented it is, like I always say, he can't turn up the way he should turn up.
He even seems angry with the manager as well.
Mm-hmm.
Disbelief. He's shocked
Yeah, yeah,
by the
yeah.
formation and everything, tactical knowledge
Fernandez,
of the
Fernandez
manager
is
and stuff.
pissed. Fernandez is pissed right now. He's pissed. And it's affecting his performance.
Can we just because like I said before we move on from United, like on Twitter we always banter each other a lot, especially United. Sometimes they'll kill me. They said I get Kai Havertz too much. They kill me with banter, and I laugh. I said okay, I'll keep my mouth shut today. I'll keep saying it. I don't hate Lampard, but my problem with Lampard is play the right players at the right position. I have no issues with that. I will completely support and back you. But when I see you playing Mason Mount on the left wing, when I look at the bench, I say, okay, there's a proper winger on the bench. What's this guy doing on the wing? That's what my question is. As a proper manager, you need to think and use your brain. Because when all the fans see you are doing something wrong, as a manager, you need to back up and be like, okay, I know I'm wrong. I accept this wrong. I want to move on with it. That's how a proper manager should do. Every manager will get criticized for what he does because we can't be perfect as a manager. You always make mistakes, especially being a young manager. You will make mistakes. It's normal. Even an experienced manager also make mistakes. It's normal. But when you learn from that mistake and you want to move on with it, I think that's the best way to be as a manager, to be successful as a manager. So in terms of Ole for me, I keep saying it. Ole has no tactics and no pattern. And even the worst case scenario, the board completely ignore him. No backing, no support, no nothing. He keep playing today, diamond formation. Tomorrow, 3-5-2. Next tomorrow, 4-4-2 diamond. I'm like, what the hell is going on with this team? This team have no pattern, no dimension, no direction. Just pass to Fernandez or who again or Luke Shaw, inshallah, go. That's what they do.
And the
Not
penalties are not coming again.
exactly no penalties again. So what exactly is going on? Yeah, last season they were like, Ole beat Lampard 3-1. I was like, okay, I'll calm down because we get a transfer ban. I am not mad. At least we finished fourth. We went to the Champions League. I am completely happy with it. We can move on with that. This season, there's no the shout has been dried down because how woeful United has been. Now they're saying Chelsea must go for in Champions League because of they buy this player, they buy this player. Now my question to them is, yes, we bought this player. As the Chelsea fans, we have our own goal, and there's an ambition in that. This is where we want to go as a team. But let me ask you as a United fans, what's your goal? You have no goal because you have no proper manager. who can take you further with the goal. Yes, Granaskia may have been signing some stupid and ridiculous player, but the board, the owner, everybody's still backing. Sometimes football sporting directors sometimes make mistake in kind of recruitment of players. But look at it. Look at the past 2 3 years. He's been signing good players in, and it's been helping the club moving forward. So that's how football entirely should be. You will make mistake, you did it, but as long as you learn from that mistake, you can always move forward. For me, that's my take on Ole and United for them. I wish them good luck. Good luck. But United fans, please keep Ole, so you guys can end up in 20 position. Just keep Ole. I beg. Keep Ole, don't sack him. So you guys can end up.
You want them to relegate?
Yeah, so they can end up in 20 position. Just keep Ole, please. Keep Ole. I beg. So let's come to other Champions League matches. The Chelsea matches. Firstly, let me go to the Tuesday matches. Let's do the reverse back for today. And Real Madrid, who also played yesterday, I think Borussia Mönchengladbach, Shakhtar Donetsk, and everything. So my question to you guys is: do you guys see Real Madrid going through in the Champions League, or you see Inter Milan going through? So let me come with offside first. So who do you see going through between Madrid and Inter? Because we know Antonio Conte is a flop in the Champions League. We know. I know he's a flop.
I don't even know what. I'm not even sure what to say about that particular group and those two teams in particular. Because I remember after the draw, we were predicting things that would progress, and it was easy for every single one of us. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you, but I think it's
It was
good.
easy for every single one of us.
Yeah.
To come out and say that Madrid will not just progress from the group, but they top the group. But then again, football has happened, and we're still watching football. As things are,
I think your mic is breaking up. It's breaking up. Do you want to come out and come in again?
If you remember, since Ronaldo left the club, we've continued to struggle. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, but your mic is breaking up. Can you just go out and come in again? The mic is breaking up a little bit.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you, but it's breaking up a little bit. So can you just go out and come in? Okay. Yeah, we can hear you. I think the mic is breaking up a little bit. Maybe okay. I think I'm gonna come back to it. So let me come to Nyanga first. So Madrid and Inter Milan, who goes to Europa League?
It's funny that we're actually calling Real Madrid and Europa League in the same bracket. I mean, this is a team that has never played in the Europa League before.
Just don't mention that, please. I don't want to talk about Hazard. So, please.
If you look at the two teams, I think we've played how many games now? 3 matches, 3 left to go. So when you talk about experience, the mental strength, and everything, I think Real Madrid has the edge over Inter Milan. Because if you look at the last couple of games, the way Inter Milan has been playing, they've been conceding a whole lot of goals, both in their league and in the Champions League. Games that before going into the game, you expect them to win and win convincingly. And the next thing you see them 2-2, maybe last minute goal, they are grinding out results. So it's going to boil down to the next 3 games that they are going to play. I think, Real Madrid defeated them 3-2 in the last game. So they are going to Inter Milan Stadium to play the second leg.
Yeah, but
Real Madrid will get the advantage over them again. I do not understand
Okay, let me put this to you, Nyangi. I could put this to you because I have an argument.
Hold on, from the tail end of last season. Yeah.
Go ahead. Finish up. Yeah, finish up.
From the tail end of last season, Inter Milan had been there's this how will I call it? The fear factor is no longer there in that from them when they go to them. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. Teams know that yes, this team is susceptible in defense. They have old defenders. You can always run at them. You can always get at them and get the goals. Yes, Real Madrid didn't do well in the first game, but they picked up in the second game. They picked up yesterday also. So you look at it, they didn't start well, they faltered, but going into the next three games, I do not see this Real Madrid faltering. I do not in any way. So you have to look at it between both of them. They are still going to play each other one more time. Who do you think would get if Lukaku is not scoring, that Inter team is not doing well. Lautaro Martinez, he can play well in this game. The next game is off. Sanchez, neither here nor there. Ashley Young, neither here nor there. You can't just pin down the X factor in that Inter Milan side. But going together, the Real Madrid team has everything that would work for them. Like I said, the experience of the Champions League, they would not drop it. I don't see Real Madrid going into the Europa League. What they will get is a second position in that group. Inter Milan will be the one to go into the Europa League.
Hmm. Wow. But my question to you that I wanted to ask you is, do you think Lukaku not playing is a key factor to Inter? Because I know very well.
Definitely,
I said it. If
definitely.
Lukaku is playing, Madrid, that match will have ended either draw, or Inter Milan skin can win because Lukaku has proven, like not just one season, 2 seasons, is a proven goal scorer. I will say it again, a proven clinical striker in Romelu Lukaku for Antonio Conte. Then Antonio Conte understands how to play Lukaku. He knows when you play Lukaku, you get the best out of Lautaro Martinez. So that's why I said I told you, I think someone I was arguing. I said Lukaku playing in that Inter Milan team will bring the best out of that team because Rafael Varane for me is a class A break. Despite him being a good defender, he's still a suspect. Having Lukaku in that front will make him lose focus or make silly mistake. So do you think Lukaku not playing yesterday is a big advantage for Real Madrid? Or even if he plays, they're still gonna lose that match?
Romelu Lukaku, Bolingoli, from West Brom to Everton to United to Inter Milan, he has proven that he is a goal scorer any day, anytime. If Inter Milan could get 2 goals in that game without Lukaku, imagine Lukaku in that team. Lukaku would get nothing less than 2 goals in that game yesterday. That would be 4 goals for Inter Milan. Definitely, Inter Milan would have won yesterday. What does that mean? In summation, Lukaku definitely missing in that game. They felt it. He is the kind of
I,
strike, like I said. If you listen to my initial like I said, he is the X factor in that team. In a team, you have to know someone that the person that you can look up to when you okay, we need goals. Yes, we will concede goals, but if you can get extra goals, then we can win the game. I hope you are getting what I'm saying. If he
Yep.
was in that game yesterday, Lukaku would have gotten a couple of goals extra that would have given them the edge over Real Madrid. So definitely, him missing that game was a very, very huge loss for Inter Milan.
Okay. I think this is
I,
what I wanted to say before I go
yeah,
to
I'll
Sam.
have to disagree with it. I'm about to log off, so let me just touch on this. I have to disagree with the consensus that seems to be going on there. Yeah, Lukaku is that. Lukaku, we all know what is capable of. But we are tending to focus just on the striker Lukaku. I mean, I have we watched Inter Milan recently, especially post lockdown. It's not just about Lukaku. Yes, Lukaku may be banging in the goals, but I love Conte a lot. But I don't know what is going on between him and Inter Milan. The inconsistency in their performance is baffling. I mean, I felt when Conte went back to Inter Milan, bought the players he bought, and even though some of them were old and I was thinking he was going to give Juventus a good run for their money. But disappointingly, he couldn't because of inconsistency. I think Conte is still experimenting with that team. He brought in Victor Moses one time, brought in Ashley Cole, Ashley Young, brought in Godin. Godin has left now. Victor Moses has left. Now he brought in Arturo Vidal, Nainggolan. Experimenting with that 3-5-2 formation and that midfield. He has not been able to nail down a starting midfield yet. Inter Milan, I watch them a lot. Inter Milan team has no blend. The goals you see Lukaku scoring more often than not are based on the fact that he's hungry for goals, but there is a one man. The team is just a man. The team, 11 players. Everybody has a role to play. in that team, and not everybody is playing the role they are supposed to play. So I still think Conte has not found his winning formula for Inter Milan. And trust me, even if Lukaku was there yesterday, we need to understand one thing. As in, Real Madrid is Real Madrid. That's what we need to understand. Real Madrid is Real Madrid. Inter Milan played in the Europa, was it last year or 2 years back? When
last season.
Inter Milan has not been like the Inter Milan of 2010, for instance. So saying
Yeah.
that Lukaku, if Lukaku was there, something, yeah, he would have given Varane and Co a run for their money, but there's no guarantee that he would have won that game single-handedly for Inter Milan. You can't just call that saying that because Lukaku was not there. Lukaku is just one man. A team is a team. What happened to, okay, for instance, what happened to the defense? What happened to the defense that is would Lukaku have stopped that? The defense considered 3 goals. What happened to that?
So if you sorry to cut in, if you listen to what I said initially, what I said was with Lukaku in that team, they know that they will concede, but Lukaku's goal contribution would give them the extra edge. Yes, they conceded 3 goals, but they scored 2 without Lukaku. Now imagine Lukaku in that team getting at least another, let's even say he got 1. That would have been a draw, not a loss. That's what we are talking about here. Is the extra factor that
Just
he brings. I'm not saying he's the only one that will do everything. Sorry?
but I think several times with Lukaku they have lost matches, they have drawn lost matches they are supposed to have won.
They've drawn matches. A game like yesterday, they would have drawn because he would have at
Okay,
least gotten. Real
you
Madrid
see,
were porous in defense. Casemiro was awful. He was awful yesterday.
Real Madrid has always been porous in defense, even from the days of Ronaldo.
Exactly. So there's no
Real
way
Madrid, Real Madrid defense has been
Lukaku would not have gotten
fantastic. What
extra
Real
a
Madrid tries
couple
to
of
do is they
goals
try
more.
to score you. Real Madrid's game plan, Real Madrid's game plan has always been to outscore their opponents. That's why even back in the day of Ronaldo, they play 6-2. I never had a fantastic defense. But I don't see Inter Milan going head to head. Inter Milan is more likely to go to Europa League than come out from that group stage, honestly speaking. With or without Lukaku. That's what I think.
I agree. Well, for me, like I said, I just feel Lukaku is an X factor in that team. And like I said earlier, yes, they will concede goals. Yes, they've been conceding goals, just like you said, post lockdown, they've been conceding goals. But Lukaku still keeps getting those goals in one way or the other. If you notice, so many 2-2 draws, 1-1 draw, 9-minute goals, Lukaku would always pop up and score that goal. After Real Madrid got that third goal yesterday, it was glaring. If Lukaku was in that game, there is no way he would not have gotten one. The worst result Inter would have gotten out of that game yesterday would have been a draw instead of that loss. So, like, yes, he's not the one that would go and
Go
defend.
ahead, go.
They have Lukaku has his own. I mean, Conte has his own issues to
Mhm.
sort out with the defense and all, but Lukaku will do his part up front. And I felt that is what they missed yesterday because there's no way you will go to Madrid and not concede goals. You will concede goals normally, but how well can you also score goals? Yesterday's game would have been more about who scores more, who scores the most. It would have been a game of who scored the most. So for me, it entered 3-2, a very close call. If only Lukaku was in that game, it would have clearly been a 3-3 draw or something like that for me. Conte, on the other hand, Conte has his own issues, more with the board. I do not understand how Conte is always having issues with board in everywhere he goes to. He came to Chelsea, first
Antonio
season, won the league. The second season, all of a sudden, started having issues with the board before the end
I
of the
don't want to
season.
go too long on Lukaku.
Yeah,
So
he
let me
got
go to offside,
sacked.
guys. Let me go to offside
Mhm.
to hear what offside is gonna say. I know Lukaku, Inter Milan, Conte is a fraud in Europe. I know, I completely
Mhm.
understand. But I want to know offside take on them. Romelu Lukaku / Inter Milan / the bot. What's that? Do you think the new manager to blend them in, or just like, okay, let's just leave Conte alone and let him face Italian league? What are you? Ah, can you hear me?
Hello.
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you. I'm talking about
Yeah.
Antonio Conte, Inter Milan, and what's called, and the board. What's going on with them in Europe?
I can't. I'm not an insider, so I can't claim to know everything that's going on with them. But one thing is certain: Conte has underperformed. You know, especially even not. I mean, in the league and the Champions League, he has underperformed. I don't know what exactly the problem is, but obviously things are not working out. I don't know the story behind that. I don't know details of the story behind that. I just remember there was a time he said, you know, more like challenging the board, that he was ready to go to be sacked and stuff. I don't know the story behind that, but whatever it is, it's not working. You see, I think it was their last game. Yeah, the last round of Champions League. I think that game ended
Two
goalless.
draw.
Sorry,
Two
it
draw.
ended in a draw. Sorry, it ended in a 2-2 draw. And that performance, that result was kind of result that so many of us didn't see coming. Antonio Conte has a squad that, you know, Antonio Conte's squad usually seems, solid, defensively sound, and all that based on the way he sets up his team. But for one reason or the other, results are not coming. They score goals. Players are normally, hit the back of the net and missing their chances. In Lautaro Martinez,
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know exactly what's going on. They're conceding way too many goals than they should be conceding. I think it's beyond footballing reasons. Beyond footballing reasons, but I don't know what exactly is going on in the side. I mean, in the boardroom, for me to speculate.
Okay. Before I go to Chelsea, let me come to Liverpool. So my question to you guys is Diego Jota the signing of the season, or we're just too early about to discuss that? So let me come to maybe Nyanga first. Do you think Diego Jota is the signing of the season, or we just too early about him? Oh, I
Hello,
think yeah,
hello,
you
are you there?
can go for it. Go for it.
No, definitely he's not the signing of the season. He's not the sign. If you're talking about signing of the season, I mean, Chelsea has some other players that have come and changed the side drastically.
Mm-hmm.
You're talking about the goalkeeper Eduardo Mendy, 6 games, 7 games, 6 clean sheets, 6 on the bounce. You're talking about Thiago Silva. These are players that have made immediate impact on the side. Thiago Jota he has started well for Liverpool, but he definitely has not cannot be described as the signing of the season. Honestly, when that transfer happened, I was surprised that he moved to the side because I knew he was going to. I expected him to struggle with playing time. I expected him to struggle with playing time, but I wonder how long he'll be able to cope with that. But so far, so good. Kudos on Manchester United. He's delivering. They're not used to having a kind of striker that scores. Roberto scores as much, or has their name on the score sheet as well. Roberto Firmino does what he does in the attack, but he's not the most prolific striker. Now, this is a new and different, new and different kind of striker for them entirely, and it seems like things may not exactly be working out very well because they don't score. They don't tend to score as much as they used to score before. They might be, getting the results, the victories here and there, but they are not exactly getting the results as they're not exactly scoring as much goals as we're used to seeing them score. They get the results, they grind it out. That's another sign of Liverpool that we're just seeing. This Liverpool side that we're seeing, but calling him or referring to him as the signing of the season, no, it's not even close. It's not. You talk about James Rodriguez before you talk about him being signing of the season.
Okay. So Nyangi, are you there? Oh,
Yeah, I'm with you.
maybe. Okay. So, what's your take on Diego Jota? Diego,
I think it's far-reaching to call him the signing of the season. I mean, yes, he scored a hat trick. Let's not forget, Kai Havertz has scored a hat trick. Other players have scored hat tricks this season. So he's coming into a side. He's bringing out his A game. He's doing well. Fine. For me personally, I would even start benching Firmino for him because I mean,
but
you're
we
a
know
striker. You're a
Klopp
number
will do it.
nine.
Jurgen Klopp will not do it. He's too loyal. He won't do that. We know
Yes,
Klopp.
even
Klopp will not.
beyond loyalty, because you do not want to just kill the morale of the other player like that, But I think over time, if Diego Jota continues to come on and score goals, it's only a matter of time before he will start starting games. Firmino hasn't scored in God knows how long. His numbers over the last 2 seasons has been very, very poor. Very, very poor for a number nine. I think we don't get to talk about Firmino because most times Salah pops in the goals, Mane pops in the goals. Both of them together, they're always covering up for him. So people don't get to notice. But he is the main striker in the team. He's very, very poor. In fact, I'll call him a failed striker for me. I do not care what any English the manager tries to cover up with. He links up play with this one, he does that. You are the point man. You should be getting in the goals, not Salah, not Mane. They should be feeding you the goals, not you feeding them the goals. That's why you're the striker. So for me, I would not even be shocked. I would not be surprised if Diego Jota comes over to take the starting position from Firmino. But to say is the signing of the season, no, 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 no. There are so many other players that we can still pick up. Like Offside said, I mean, look at Edward Mendy. When Chelsea were signing and signing and signing, people didn't think that he would be someone who would be in contention. Right now, he's in contention for Chelsea Player of the Month for October for those saves. I mean, 7 games, 6 saves, 6 clean sheets. Massive. That's massive for a team coming into a team that kept conceding, that conceded in almost every game last season. Now going 6 games without conceding a goal, and this guy has been at the heart of it. Balls that has come towards him, deadline balls that he keeps saving and saving. He has saved Chelsea's blushes so many times. You can't forget the Rashford last minute kick that he saved. That would have gone in if that was Kepa that was there. Those are the extra touches that makes you outstanding. Those are
Stop
the
disrespecting my goals.
advantages.
Amiza Balagat, stop disrespecting my goals.
So those are the advantages that you look at when you want to start picking player of I mean trans and the best transfer so far.
Okay.
So for me,
It's not the player of the season for you, right?
no, 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 no.
So let's go to Chelsea now. Before I go to Chelsea, I really want to speak a little bit about Paris Saint-Germain. So can we say it's over for Paris Saint-Germain, or no Neymar, no Icardi, no Verratti, no Kylian Mbappe? Is it time? Let me put it. Is it time for Kylian Mbappe to move out to tell PSG, I think it's time for me to leave. I am done with you guys. I gotta leave. Or there's still a chance for PSG to get out of it. Because for me, this table I'm saying now, I don't see PSG making it out of the Champions League. I do not see them doing it. I don't. The worst scenario, they go back to Europa League. That's the worst scenario. So, do you see PSG finishing the Champions League like maybe second, or what's the best scenario for Kylian Mbappe and Neymar for them to leave?
For me, it has always been finished for PSG even before the season started. If you look at the way they keep falling in the last 2, 3 seasons, you will know that this team cannot go beyond that position that they are in right now. You're leading in the first leg, you lose the second leg scandalously. Same thing second season. Now this season, look at how they've been playing. Neymar comes in, 20 something minutes, is injured. It clearly shows he's not fit. It clearly shows he's not fit. Mbappe, very wonderful player, any day, anytime. But number one, he's young. He doesn't have the experience, whether we like it or not. He doesn't have that experience. He needs to move on from that team. He needs to move to mainstream Europe if he wants to be considered a great. Yes, he's won the World Cup. Yes, he's won the Euros. I do not, there's no how you want to see it. I do not rate the French league as a top league. A league that one club side would win for 7, 8 years. Before PSG, Lyon did it. Before Lyon, Bordeaux did it. It's a one league, one club league. The club with the rich highest money gets to do it. The thing it does to you is it does not give you the true value of the status of your team. Because when you go into the Champions League, it shows how weak you are. And that is what PSG are facing right now. So for me, I think if Mbappe loves himself, he should move on from that side. He should move out of France. He's a French player. Those things affect you because you are at home. You tend to want to relax. Okay, I'm good. I'm good. Let me just stay here like that. They are paying. No, you need to move on. You need to play in a higher league where you have seen. Come to the La Liga. Come to the Premiership. Play in Real Madrid. Play in Barcelona. Play in Man City. Play in Liverpool. Prove yourself. Prove your mettle. You know, those are the kind of places that you can clearly show that you're a bigger player. You cannot be playing against Meds, playing against Brest, playing against Troa, and you you keep running over those ones. Let this weekend come now. They'll score another 3 goals against whoever they are playing against. But it keeps showing every season in the Champions League that this team cannot go past where they are right now. Verratti is missing in that team. He is missing a whole lot in that team. That team is strong, but unfortunately, the league that they are playing in is not helping them at all.
Oh, offside. What on PSG? Kylian Mbappe, Neymar, Marco Verratti, and co. And do you think Thomas Tuchel is the right man taking them forward? Or that guy needs to be sacked ASAP. Offside, your take on PSG, Paris Saint-Germain. Offside, you there? Maybe offside is she's I think she muted herself. Okay, so until everyone offside is back, so let's go to today's matches. Chelsea versus Rennes. So the
Okay?
Yankee came back to this now. Going forward now, is it the best for the sort of formation we'll be using 4-3-3? We should stick with because I think Kai Havertz has tested positive for pandemic, so he's gonna be isolated.
Coronavirus.
Yeah, it's positive. Yeah, so that was the reason he did not play. But Lampard said he's gonna get tested maybe tomorrow again just to see if it comes out negative. Else, he's gonna be isolated for 2 weeks. So going forward now, so the 4-3-3 formation we use is it the right formation we should continue sticking with, even despite us playing the team? Is it just using that formation or not, or we need to just go back to the 4-3-3 formation, 4-2-3-1 formation?
So first off, let's start with Sky Havertz. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, the rule says that once you contract the virus, you need to do at least 2 tests to be very sure, to be double sure.
Yeah, to be very
That both tests have to come out negative
it's only one
before
test.
they can.
Lampard said to do the test tomorrow just to confirm and then one.
Well, most of them do twice though. Ronaldo did 3 times.
Yep.
So I think most of them do more than once just to confirm, to be very sure that you are clear of it. So the good thing, however, is that after this weekend's game, their international break. So even if he tests positive, I mean, he has 2 weeks, another 2 weeks to isolate, to self-isolate. So it's not like we're going to miss him that much because international break will be there. And by the time they will be coming back, he should be well, all things being equal by then. So coming into today's game, I've always said it right from when the team was 4-3. 4-3-3 is the best formation for this side. Are you with me?
I'm with you.
4-3-3 is the best formation for this side. I do not buy that 4-2-3-1 formation at all. You have an army of players, and you have an army of skilled players with you. You should not be defending. You should be attacking. When you're playing 4-2-3-1, that means you are using two DMs. That means you are sitting back. You are not exploring the advantage that you have. And that is what he has seen from the last game. One thing I think I realized from Lampard, I think, yes, we said he's been stubborn, he's been adamant, but this season I think he's listening. Because if you notice, is we talk when we play the first game, things don't go well, he tries to switch. So far, so
Yeah,
good. I said it initially. I think he's looking for the right balance for this team.
yeah,
Now he himself has seen that 4-3-3 is working better than the 4-2-3-1 formation. Because using Kante and Jorginho or Jorginho and Kovacic in that pivot has been detrimental to that team. Anytime we are under counter attack, we do not have the strength to hold back. That is why we keep conceding. But in 4-3-3, you are pushing the team backwards. You are pushing the team backwards. However, in this 4-3-3, let's not forget that the 4-3-3 we played over the weekend
yeah. It's only.
against Burnley is different from this one.
Yeah, because then we have two attacking midfield in
Exactly.
Kai
Thank you
Havertz
very
and
much.
N'Golo Kante was
Thank you very much.
just a proper DM.
Was the
Or
only
coordinating.
DM. Thank you. But in this game, we went back to two DMs and one attacking.
No, I think it was a 4-3-3. It wasn't a 4-2-3-1. It was a 4-3-3 for me. It was.
Yes, it was a no. What I'm saying is, it's a 4-3-3, but we used Isat, Kante, and Jorginho. Mount was the only one up front.
Yeah, because I think because the reason was because of Kai Havertz. That was the reason.
Exactly. That's why I'm saying it's a 4-3-3, but it's different from what we played over the weekend.
Yeah.
So whichever way, the 4-3-3 still favors us more than the 4-2-3-1 formation. Now, going into today's game,
Yep.
honestly, I'm going to say this. Would you realize? I don't know if you realize it. Do you know that at some point it clearly showed that Havertz was missing in that game?
He showed. I saw it because there's some key passes. You see him passing. You see him.
Thank
You see
you.
him. Those passes. Those skills. You saw that. Well,
Thank you
I need
very
Havertz in
much.
this match. The only player that gave me hungry in this match is Jorginho. Jorginho is just. I don't know what is going with Jorginho. Maybe he needs to. Maybe he's missing. And Mauricio Sarri a lot. I really don't understand Jorginho in this team. I do not see a way forward for this team for Jorginho. I don't see it. I do not see it. I don't.
In this game, when you are playing against teams that sit back a lot that are defending, you need that person that can break those passes.
Because on
And
Saturday,
that is
Saturday match against Burnley, Kante was playing like just like someone like Wilfred Ndidi of Leicester City.
thank you.
I was like,
Thank you.
wait. I keep telling my brother that wait. Are you kidding me? Kante is a proper DM. He said yes. I was like, no. I have to rewatch that match again, back to back again, like Kante playing as a DM. When Kante go forward, you can have it and Mason Mount, they come back. I'm like, why are you guys doing that back? They support Kante. So when Kante go back to his position, then both of them come back again. I was like, wow, there's a progression in this team.
Exactly. You noticed. Thank you very much. You noticed it. See the progression. Look at the passing styles. In a very long time, I saw Chelsea passing.
Yes.
The things we've been complaining about, like, let us see what this team wants to do. I saw it against Burnley because we played two attacking players and one sitting DM. Sit. So coming into today's game also, Kante was fantabulous.
I think he played more as a DM. The first time I only get it.
Yes, he played more as a
He
DM.
pushed
today.
Jorginho a little bit to like number 8, which was the reason was a little bit ugly. I was like, oh, imagine it was Kai Havertz in heaven. This would have been.
Kante was breaking up play. He was intercepting balls anytime it was with the Rennes players. But unfortunately, there was nobody to give those killer passes.
Yeah.
You see the difference in what we are saying now.
Exactly.
So, I mean, we did well. I won't even say we did well today. Honestly, we didn't do well. We did better against Burnley than we did well today.
Yeah, but I think we're just clinical today. That's it.
We were just clinical. Thank you very much. And the 2 penalties helped us. I mean, if it works for you, it works for you. Anyhow you want. We also talked about Werner taking penalties.
I said
this is the advantage.
I told offside. Offside was like, I said, the reason of having a striker in that team is for him to score. Why would your team be playing a penalty in which you have a striker in the pool? I still don't get it. And I was like, no, we bought him Werner to score goals. We don't bought him to go and do the defending at the midfield. No, it was clearly bought him to score goals. Penalty is part of goal scoring too. Give him the ball, let him score. He's the striker.
This is the advantage of using a striker to score goals. So imagine if it was Jorginho now. Jorginho will have 2 extra goals. So what's value? Nothing. Nothing. Because when you start reading the stats tomorrow, Werner has 3 goals in the Champions League this season. Anyhow you want to
Oh, but
put it.
does it matter where the goal comes from?
It matters. It
After
matters in this world of stats.
okay. Continue the Yankee. Continue if I go to offside.
It matters a whole lot in this world where we are stats crazy now. You buy players, you want them to perform.
Yeah.
So 2020 has been a wonderful season, a wonderful year for Timo Werner in terms of scoring goals in Europe, and he has continued in that formation. So whether the penalties are advantage or not, give it to him. Look at the way he took the second penalty. You would know that this is an experienced player. You would know he doesn't have time for stylish. Let me jump on the ball. No, this is where I want to play it and fire the ball there. Even if the keeper follows it, he would not catch it because the shot is hot. Look at, they had a tall keeper. Do you know their keeper is even taller than our keeper?
Yeah, Eduardo Mendy.
I tweeted, I was like, where did Ren get all these type of keepers from?
I want that Senegalese. Where did they get them from?
Where did they get them from?
I think that
was
goalkeeper is the second goalkeeper of Senegal. I think it's the second goalkeeper.
Yeah,
He's
the
backup
second
goalkeeper.
Yeah. So you can imagine if it was another player that took the penalty, he would have caught that second ball. But look at the expertise that when I use in taking it. This is where I want to put it, and that is where I'm going to put it. He raised it up straight. Wonderful goal. You know, it gives you confidence going into the next game. You're a striker. You want to be scoring goals. That is your job. And Timo Werner, what's his name? Tammy Abraham also. I'm glad for him.
I think he's been improving a lot. He has been improving a lot.
He's improving, exactly. No more falling the way he used to fall.
The match really changed. If you look at the matches, his communication with Akinjai is fantastic.
Yeah, the way he was falling last season, he has stopped falling that way. He's on his feet now.
Yes.
He does a whole lot of leg work, even though he's tall. You know, he shows that he has improved.
He's very, very willing to run around, even without scoring. He's very, very willing to do other things. The kind of thing Roberto Firmino does for Liverpool.
Exactly.
I think it was in the last game against Burnley. That goal that was scored by, I think it was the second goal. The goal
by Akinjai.
Akinjai scored. He's willing to do the dirty job, help win the ball back, and defend as well. So just as Miyagi said, last season, I remember last season, any small thing, any challenge he has,
he will follow.
He'll fall over. Yeah, but this season he has improved, and I think that's what competition. That's what good competition does to the side.
Yeah.
So, what else noticed? You guys, I don't know if you noticed the pressing. Our pressing has also improved.
I think. I look at the ball.
Whenever we are not with the ball,
we press.
The Burnley and this one also exactly. When we are not with the ball, they are rushing towards the opposition. Block them down. This was something we're not doing last season. That was why opposition could always easily pass through our midfield. But
because
if we
press, I think against Burnley, I noticed something. When we press, Kante doesn't follow them to press. He stay back. Because in Burnley, they were targeting Zuma. So they were like, okay, now Burnley changed their 30 seconds by targeting Zuma. So Thiago Silva has to change and to play Zuma's position and to Zuma
position.
So and don't go forward too much. Just stay beside Zuma. So when the ball goes past maybe someone like Rhys James, you can easily be the third man in between them. They can't go past you. They immediately go past maybe Caraba or Mason Mount. They cannot go past you because you are the DM. Before they can come towards, they'll come towards you. So I think the communication between those three players is fantastic also too. I think credit has to be given like Lampard also. Credit has to be when they make mistakes.
His lineup in the last game against Burnley. Oh my goodness. I loved every bit of it. Every single. First of all, having to play Conte, the position he played him in. That's something so many of us have been craving. And before we used to talk about Conte, that the reason Conte has not been playing in that position is because he does not know how to pass the ball. He's not fast on the ball.
Kante pass. I saw Kante passing.
He was brilliant.
Kante was doing leg work.
He was brilliant.
Kante was doing leg work against. I was like, are you kidding me? Leg work. I was like, wow. Yeah, continue.
It's told on the performance of the side, the selection. I don't know whether it's just down to Hakim Ziyech that suddenly the game they're now playing beautiful football. I remember the game before that where it was very, very lethargic and very boring. We were
Mm-hmm.
complaining about so many backward, sideways passes and all that. Suddenly, it seems like that has been eradicated from the game. There's this
You
sense of
notice even
urgency
Rhys
that
James is not
seems.
passing back again.
Exactly.
Sorry?
Hakim Ziyech.
Rhys
Hakim Ziyech.
James is not passing
Yeah,
back
he does.
again.
Yeah, exactly. He's not passing back again. So I don't know whether it's Lampard that made those changes or just down to one player, returning to the side. Whatever it is, it's working. And um, I don't know what you guys think. Kai Havertz is out. Do you guys miss? Did
He
you
has
guys
been
miss?
tested positive for coronavirus.
Yeah, did you guys miss him? I didn't miss
We
him.
missed
I've
him.
always talked about him.
We missed him. We missed him. I
No,
thought
I didn't miss him at all. I've always talked about him, and I've said that he deserves to have some time on the bench. Gradually be integrated into the side. Against Ren today, no,
Mhm.
I also didn't miss him at all. There was fast passes,
Wait,
unnecessary.
okay, offside. We missed. I in that second half we missed Kai Havertz because there's some key decision when which Jorginho was. And I was like, Lampard, just take him out. I beg, just take this man out. Please, just do me a favor and take him out because he keep making mistakes. I was like, okay, now. Then I look at him like, oh my god, no Kai Havertz in this team. Imagine this guy. You see that pass. You see that pass. You see the connection in between him, Hakim Ziyech, and Timo Werner. You see this connection, but it wasn't there. I was like, okay. No Kai Havertz. So I was like, okay, that's the reason.
Interesting.
Because if the
But do
second
you
half
guys
was
notice?
And
the
the
second
thing
half
we
was
can
boring
do
for,
without him for the next couple of weeks.
but no,
No, not weeks. In fact, it's just today. Thankfully, the international break will give him some time to recover. So
Lampard said they're gonna do that test tomorrow morning to confirm exactly if it is positive or negative. They done that test tomorrow just to confirm. He tested positive today, but another test is gonna be done tomorrow for him, just to be
I
very
think he'll
sure.
most likely miss the Sheffield game.
Yeah,
I
most
think he'll
likely.
miss that
And also the
because
Germany international
He
matches
didn't
also.
train yesterday. He didn't play today. He will most likely not play tomorrow. That's three. He has missed three training already this
Mhm.
week. So there's no way he will be in the squad. If he missed three trainings in a week, he can't make the squad. So I think he'll miss the Sheffield game. And like we
Ah,
said earlier, the good thing is there's an international break, so we're not going to miss him that much.
exactly.
By
It
the
will
time
be
they get back, things will get back to normal.
exactly. So guys, we need to talk about Eduardo Mendy. We need to talk about Eduardo Mendy, guys. So
my mind was literally going to him. I was just hoping he
guys,
would
so
never score.
before I talk, like I said, I think our level of concern of goals has reduced a little bit because I would say actually because maybe because Kepa has been that bad, or I wouldn't call it bad. Maybe he has been worse. Better than ever. Having Kepa as a goalkeeper give me problem. Hypertension upon hypertension. Heart attack upon heart attack. I booked two of my teams. I just bought it recently because of Ariza Balaga. I really don't know what to say about him. But I think Eduardo Mendy coming in has kind of cooled off a lot of tensions, the problem in which this center defender have and the attackers in the team. So let me go to offside first. Your take on Eduardo Mendy compared to Ariza Balaga. Offside, you there?
Hello, yeah.
Yeah. I said your take on Eduardo Mendy and Ariza Balaga. Your take.
I mean, Ariza Balaga should not even at this point in time. What he just tells us is how bad the guy really was and how much he tormented and actually made Chelsea fans suffer because I mean we got used to mediocrity, we got used to poor performances when he was in between the sticks. At the end of the day, when Chelsea end up conceding goals, what we end up doing is going back to the defenders and saying, yeah, why did the defender let themselves get beaten? Why did the defender do this? Why didn't the defender do this? But what we are seeing now, it seems like a total turnaround. Okay, in the game against Rennes this evening, Eduardo barely even had anything to do. He was almost like a spectator in the game. But even at that, for every time he was called, his attention was called into to join the game. He did well, and these are the things that the central defenders. These are the things that instill confidence. The defenders are more or less the same players from last season. I mean, I'm talking about the center back. Even in the last game, I think the last game Thiago Silva did not play. It was Rudiger, the same Rudiger that was criticized. Rudiger and Zuma in the last game. Still, it was a clean sheet. So it tells us how bad Kepa was. But the question that I'll now ask, and the question I've been asking myself, is how did he get to this level? I have not seen one thing whatsoever that made Chelsea sign him in the first
I
place.
think it's desperation. I'll put desperation from
I have not seen. There are so many other goalkeepers in England in the Championship that would have done way better, or that wouldn't
No,
have
no,
done
no,
this.
no. Actually, it was the situation that we were in then. Let's
No,
not
that's
forget
what
that.
I'm saying. Understand what I'm saying? I'm saying, no, even despite the desperation, there are so many goalkeepers in England and outside England that wouldn't do that wouldn't do worse than he has performed at Chelsea. I don't know what they saw at the time, for whatever reason. I don't know what they saw to sign him. Beyond desperation, what was that thing that they saw that made them say, okay, as desperate that they are, this guy is good enough, and then to spend a record amount of money to sign a goalkeeper? Someone should be sacked. Someone is supposed to be answering for that particular one. It's a lot of money.
I guess I like my goat.
You're laughing.
I'm laughing.
His issue started from the early days, from when he had that issue with Sarri, refusing to leave the pitch. All those from the little things you get to see the bigger things. And now this is where he is. Suddenly he is, even in the opinion of so many people, he is even behind Peter Cech in terms of ability.
That's what Agizabala guys. Damn. Wow. So Niangi, your take on Eduardo Mendy?
So okay, also I talked about why we even went for Kepa in the first place and all that. I think let me quickly clarify. We've got that. What's his name? Courtois left us at the start of this. The season was just about to start. I think 2 weeks. So it was a panic buy. It wasn't like we had options of goalkeepers that we could pick at. Everyone was locked up. It was a panic buy. So what they looked at that point in time was that Real Madrid actually went to Real Betis in January for Kepa. Real Madrid wanted Kepa in January, but they couldn't get him. So they
That's
told
not
Real
enough
Betis
reason
that,
to spend
hold on,
70
let me
million.
finish. Hold on, let me finish. So they told Betis that they will be coming at the end of the season to get him. What happened between January and June was that Real Betis gave Kepa a new contract and increased his sign-out clause to 80 million. It wasn't because he was worth 80 million. No, he was actually 28 million or so when Real Madrid went.
No, it
But
was
there were
19,
issues.
19.5. It was 20
19, so imagine 19 point something million.
Mhm.
So Real Betis saw an opportunity that, okay, these ones are coming back in June. Let's use the opportunity to cash in on him. That was exactly what it wasn't because he was worth it or not. That was why Real Betis raised the money, the value to that amount. However, Chelsea now came
That's
and
from
saw
the
that,
angle
okay,
of Real Betis, from the angle of the buying club, from the angle of
yes.
Chelsea. Real
Now here's
Betis
the
did what
thing.
they did.
Now
What did
here's the
Chelsea
thing.
see?
Chelsea, under panic, looked who was available. This is a keeper that is available. Why is he available? Real Madrid wanted him. That means if Real Madrid actually wanted him, that means there must be something good about him. Good or bad decision?
That's a very
Mm-mm.
crazy way of
No, no,
spending
no.
70
Whether
million
you like
pounds.
it or not, it happens sometimes. Real Madrid
It's happened that we're
would go for a
questioning
good
it or we're
player.
querying it.
Exactly. So it could have worked out. It could not have worked out. It's a 50-50 thing. So at that point, when they took the decision, it was the best decision for them because there was no other goalkeeper available at that point in time. So I would not blame them. Yes. So I would not blame Chelsea for going for him at that point in time. However, after bringing him to the club and everything, when he started having the issue with Sarri, he refused coming out and all that. Then he started messing up, conceding goals. The devilish thing about Kepa was that the way and manner he was conceding the goals, it took so long for us to actually blame him. We were actually blaming other people because he always felt as if it's not his fault. He can't get to it. It's not his fault. He can't get to it. Meanwhile, these were balls that other goalkeepers, a Nick Pope would save us so many times last season. Jack Butland would save us so many times last season. But because Kepa somehow, maybe the value of the money and everything, we just felt let's leave him until things turned very, very, very soft for us. Honestly, I wake up every morning and I thank God that we were able to get Edward Mendy. Now I go and watch Chelsea games without fear. Oppositions coming on Chelsea and I'm not scared. There's a corner kick against Chelsea, I'm not scared. There's a free kick coming in. Look at him against Rennes today. Look at the area balls. He just parries the balls and just drop it down, and as if someone said it's as if this guy is just catching balloons. The confidence that I love his confidence so much.
Mm-hmm.
When he gets the back pass and an attacker is coming, he is not scared. He is not scared. He looks at the person he wants to give the ball and he gives the ball back to. Not the nonsense mistake that Kepa made against Liverpool. If I remember that game, oh my God, I feel like punching Kepa every time I remember that Liverpool game.
I broke 2 TVs because of Kepa. My Lord in heaven, Kepa.
Christ.
Two. I don't know what it's
Christ.
about. Damn.
It's now that we are just appreciating. And the funniest thing, Edward Mendy is not even yet world class.
Exactly.
He is not yet world class.
It shows how bad Kepa.
That is how bad Kepa is, exactly. It shows how bad Kepa is. It shows how much we had suffered last season, even early start of this season. Now imagine continuously this guy would keep improving. Imagine how this defense would. I can only imagine how this defense would be. Do you know today I was watching the game with my friends and what everyone was just talking about is we don't want to concede. We don't want to concede. We are not going to concede. Everyone just wants Mendy to keep keeping the clean sheets. Let it just keep going on and on and on. That is how much confidence we have in Edward Mendy. I mean, this guy is like a savior.
Even Rudiger that makes mistake doesn't make mistake anymore. Antonio Rudiger that makes mistake doesn't even make mistake anymore.
It says a whole lot. It says a whole lot about the defense.
That's the confidence.
Everyone knows that there's competition right now. You don't want to lose out. You don't want to lose out at all. Imagine Thiago Silva was removed. He was pained that he was removed.
Yes, it was pain. It was angry.
He was pained because everybody wants to play right now. You are scared that the next person that comes in can do better, and the next thing you start sitting on the bench.
Exactly.
So it's a positive that Chelsea was able to get these 6-7 players into the team. And like I said in the last part, we just needed time to blend. Now they are getting into their stride. Unfortunately, I hate international break period like this because this is a time that they should continue. They're supposed to continue in this form. The international break will break whatever form that they are in, and everybody will have to start back again. I don't like international break at all.
I don't know. International break is compulsory. It's country matches now. They have to play it now. I think they won't do.
Yeah, they have to play it, unfortunately. But imagine, Thiago Silva will travel for 18 hours from England to Brazil.
He said it already. If he travel for a long time, he will have to manage Thiago Silva. He said it already. He will have to manage him.
That's why he removed him today. Because he has to play against Sheffield. Sheffield has tall strikers. Let's not forget what they did to us last season.
Yeah, so I think the revenge is going to be on Chelsea face. Like you people of all people, we are coming for you.
Exactly. I'm sure that is why he removed him because he needs him fresh for the game this weekend.
So I think offside wanted to say something. Go for it, offside. Offside, you there? You wanted to say something?
No, I mean, I already said what I had. I don't think there's anything different I'm about to say.
Mm,
I'm
But
already.
but but
okay, go for it, Mia.
but I had an issue with our substitutions today.
Mm,
Did you notice after he removed Kante, we lost possession of the midfield
yes. I think.
from the 70th minute to the end of the game? It
Mm-hmm.
was all Rennes.
Yep.
It was like everybody he brought on was just okay. Let me just give you game time to play. There was nothing tactical about the substitution.
Exactly.
Things like that should not be. You can let it off because we had a 3 goal advantage, but you
Yeah.
should not be making mistakes like that.
Exactly.
Because I mean, this is the Champions League. We've seen 3 goal advantage being cut short.
Mm-hmm.
I
Exactly.
wasn't comfortable with the last 20 minutes of the game at all. At all. We lost the midfield totally.
Totally. Yeah.
Totally.
That's. I think you should have
I
still.
do not.
I think the reason was because he was on yellow card. He doesn't want to risk a red card again. That was why I took him out. I think so.
Yes, but I mean, playing a Jorginho and a Kovacic,
It doesn't
no,
work.
no, 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 no,
It
no,
doesn't
no.
work. Jova doesn't work anymore. Jova Kovacic doesn't work. Those two doesn't work. I think a replacement could
And I
be
would
made
rather
for
play
Pedro.
Rudiger. Okay, exactly. I would rather play defender in that position than use those two. Those two.
That's two. For me, I'll have bring in Aspilicueta and play with James as a DM.
Thank you, thank you. That was what I was actually expecting.
Play
And
with, just push his name there. Any small thing, just boot the ball. Don't need to do anything. Last 20 minutes, disturb them. Just the boot the ball.
and please, at what time are we going to? What time are we going to start clamoring for our captain to get back? Jokingly, the guy is no longer in the team.
I think it's rotation between him and Rhys James. I think so.
There is no rotation in that position again. That boy has cemented that position.
And he has massively improved on like last season, though. He
He
has
has
improved a lot.
improved.
Mm-hmm.
His crosses are wonderful. His
Mm-hmm.
crosses are wonderful.
Today, there
I
was
mean,
because
look
he
at
made to Timo Werner. If not for the defender, he's already an article already for Timo Werner.
even look at the Tammy Abraham goal. If
Mm-hmm.
you notice, Ben Chilwell made 3 crosses that were not right to Tammy. They
Mm-hmm.
had to switch. What's his name? They had to switch back to James' side and just one cross from James.
Boom.
Perfect.
Exactly. That because the communication of both players, when there's understanding between them, they'll play very well. They'll play well.
Understanding.
That's what I want from the
Understanding.
team. I don't want the reason I was angry with Lampard is he keep playing in a wing, in a wing, in a wing, in which I don't want. Yes, he may not be a good player, but at least just put him there. Let's see what he can offer till those players we are cramming for comes in. But when these players are coming in, and look at how improved those team has been, how improved they've been. Imagine. So I think it's all about time.
So
It's a matter of
are we
time.
saying that? Are we saying Aspilicueta can make it in this team again?
Ah, I don't think he can. I think it's not a competition. If we are playing more attacking than James, because that defense one on one as a defender, that is very good. One on one is very good. So I believe maybe the likes of Man City. If I want to play Man City, I'll probably play with James because Man City defense is not good. I'll play with James than play as I know when we play one cross, Man City will make mistake with that cross. It's legal that it's bound to make mistakes. So I would rather play with James, but Lampard will not play with James. He will play as Piqueta. So that's how Lampard is. So because he knows Raheem Sterling want to go one on one with maybe Aspilicueta, and Aspilicueta can, with an experience, so he can kind of just know how to go with Raheem Sterling much better than his James. I think that's the reason we'll be like, okay, this is when it's Aspilicueta to play, and we should remember Aspi is like 31 or 32, so sometimes he need rest. He needs rest.
So minus the 2 penalties that Werner scored today. Can you assess him? You think he played well?
I think I will over there. I would say maybe 6/10. It's because he still did some back pass today, which I don't want him to do anymore. So I'll just give him 6/10 a little bit, just to be leeway. Like, okay, 6/10 is better for you. Just think that's 6/10. Okay, your back pass needs to stop. Stop doing back pass anymore. You have to be as a right back. You have to be more immune to the way you play. So to back pass, don't do it anymore. Just know your job as a defender. Do your job, and let's just move forward with it. But overall, it's been very happy about the performance. Let's just keep going like this. It's been good. We've seen some improvement in which all fans want, including me. in which I wanted. So at the moment, we're good, and let's just keep going like this. My issue with Lampard is now that it's for this formation, it should not change again to 3-4-3. No. If you want to play an attacking midfield, risk it against big team. Let's see. I don't mind. Risk it. Let's see. If it doesn't pan out,
I have this fear. I
me
think
too.
he's going to switch. I
Yeah,
think he's going
me
to
too.
switch when we play any of the big teams.
Exactly. That's my worry too.
By the time we want to play City, he's going to switch back to. He would want to use the same formation we used against United.
I believe he will play 3 against City. I believe he will play it. But against more like United, someone like Team he knows is very good on the counter. He will play more as a 3-4-3 with them.
Let's say
So
against Leeds, because Leeds are a very, very attacking side also.
I want him to attack Leeds. I will. Because I think after Newcastle, we play Leeds United before we play Rennes. So
Yeah.
I want him to go lead United, attack them, just attack Leeds. Look at how Leicester City play them. Go play with them. You can score 2.
But are you really sure? Are you really sure we should go all out to attack that Leeds side? I mean, I love the way that team plays.
Yes, because we have more experienced defender in our team. And Leeds United are only Bamford. Bamford is not that experienced striker who can just cause defender problem. It's good. But the way Leeds plays, just the way Pep Guardiola plays, pass. They now leave those midfield open. That's when I have
envisage a draw in that game.
But I think
simply because Leeds do not know how to score and watch the top flight. That's the only reason I envisage a draw in that game. I don't know if Chelsea will get the chances. I know they'll have brilliant spells where they'll use Chelsea. So Chelsea all your middle. But would they have a brilliant game? I'm not very sure.
I think so, but we'll see though. Probably see. I think that's it for today. I mean, we don't really have much of the Champions League and United Ganjantua lost to Istanbul Basak. Is it Basak Bahe or Basak something? May God help us. Sing name. Hey, really God help us. So I think that's really it for today, though. It's been my good stream and happy stream. So our next stream is gonna be on Saturday for the United matches. So guys, I see you on Saturday, guys. Peace out, guys. Peace. And stay safe, guys. Stay safe. Peace, guys.
All right, you too. All the best.
All right.